All right, so today is just more of yesterday. It's a little repeated, but today what I want you to do is I want you to look at every problem on this page, and I want you to go through and circle what you're going to be substituting, and then draw an arrow to where you're going to substitute it. And I want you to do it for every problem. FYI, there is a back page. So once you're done with the front side, you're going to flip it over and do the back side. So right now, yes, but right now what you're doing is circling and drawing the arrow on all of your paper. Circle what you're going to substitute, draw an arrow to where you're putting it. And then flip the paper over because there's 6 more on the back. I really want to send home what it is that we're doing and why we are calling it substitution method. Because what we're doing is substituting what we know to be the value of y for y and then solving the equation. So I want us to understand that we are substituting. So by circling and drawing an arrow to where we are putting it, we know exactly what we're going to be doing for every one of these problems. Am I right? Okay. That's step 1. Okay. Now I'm going to give you 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And you're going to rewrite every problem. Rewrite it with the substitution. So I'm going to take this negative 5x plus 3. And then remember, for my substitution, I want to make sure that I'm substituting that information in parentheses. So 5x minus 18, close my parentheses, is equal to negative 4. So take the next 5 minutes and rewrite every problem on your worksheet. We're going to have half of the worksheet done before I'm done. Ready? Go ahead. So hopefully you've got most of these, if not all of them, done already. But I want us to go ahead and look at number 3. Because number 3 is a little bit special, and I want you to see why it is special. Okay, so if you notice, when we substituted for y, there's a bunch of stuff in parentheses, but nothing out here. Did you notice that? But there is something that goes there. Okay, so I want you to talk amongst your tables and see if you can figure out what you should be putting there. Go ahead.
What?
All right, so Clarissa, what did you guys discuss? What should we put there in front of that? All right, so now you tell me then. What goes in front of that parentheses? Put your hand down, please. Okay, we just substituted for y, right? So we put 2x plus 3. So what goes out here? One y. So I just substituted for y. So what should I put there? Because this is y. So should I put 1y in front of this? Just, what should I put? Karina? I'll put a 1 there, right? So I'm really multiplying negative 1 times these numbers. Was there another problem like that that you had? There's one on the back side, right? Which one?
8.
Number 8, right? So for number 8, we should also put a 1 here. And make sure that you're multiplying that negative 1 times everything inside. It's not going to change the number, but it will affect the sign for some. Okay, so let's go back to number 3. So we're going to go back to number 3. We're going to go ahead and multiply this problem out and solve it. Just a refresher of what you've already done, right? So 2x is not going to be involved in my multiplication, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down. I'm going to multiply 1 times 2x and, negative 1, and then negative 1 times 3. So what is a negative 1 times 2x?
Negative 2.
Minus 2x. What is a negative 1 times 3?
Negative what?
Minus 3. And then I'm going to put my answer down here. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and solve this problem here. When I do that, do I have any, I used my steps, I eliminated my parentheses using distributive property. Do I have any like terms to combine?
Yes.
What do I have?
Negative 2x. 2x. Negative 2x.
Good. So what happens when I add negative 2x to 2x?
It becomes 4. X.
Let's use column method. Okay, I have a positive 2 and a negative 2. Which one's smaller? Doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2 over here. What do I have?
0.
So what happens when I add a negative 2x and a positive 2x?
0.
Becomes 0. So that leaves me with minus 3 equals negative 3. Now what do I do? What do you notice?
Divide by.
Oh, yeah.
What do you notice? Does negative 3 equal 3?
Yes,
Negative
but
3?
0.
Okay, so we have some special answers that I can use here. Can anybody tell me what my special answer is going to be, Christian? Infinitely many solutions. There is another way. There is another way to answer this question. Sometimes when you take a standardized test, you will have an additional option that looks similar to this, but it won't say infinitely many solutions. You're going to have the answer that says all real numbers. Okay? So this is one possible answer, and then another way to write that is all real numbers. For the purpose of this class, I want you to recognize infinitely many solutions as your answer. But I want you to understand that it can be also all real numbers. So since we're on the subject of special answers, what else could I come up with as a special answer? Let's say my answer is 3 equals 3. No, 2 equals 3. Karina, since you're so willing to talk, why don't you go ahead and tell me what my other possible answer would be? You don't know. Anybody want to get, okay, I'm going to give you a minute. Talk to each other. Think about, look in your notes. Think about the other possible answers that it could be. Go, talk to your groups. About, Clarissa, no solution. So if the answers are not equal, let's say, for example, and I'll write it up here, you get an answer of 2 is equal to 0. 2 is not equal to 0, so we're going to slash that equal sign saying it's not equal. And your answer will be no solution. Okay, so you might have some special answers on this assignment, since the one we just did is a special answer. Okay, infinitely many or no solution. Those are my special answers that you might get. Do you have any more questions on what we're doing here? Okay, I went over the special answers. We're substituting. You should have most of them written up already. I explained what to do when you don't want to add that -1, because those are special cases. Is there anything else? Karina, did you have a question? Nope, just stretching. All right, I'm going to start calling you in the back. Go ahead and start working on this assignment.